Lions beat the Saints 33-28 in a very odd fashion. The first quarter, Lions got off to a great start. We were up 21-zip coming out of the first quarter, 21-zip. And then after that, we took our foot off the pedal, and it felt like we changed the entire game plan offensively and struggled to get going. Honestly, you look at the box score, 21 points in the first quarter. From there, only 3 in the second, only 3 in the third, and only 6 in the fourth. Stalled out. Jared Goff, 16 for 25, 213 yards, 2 TDs. The real offensive hero of the game, Sam LaPorta. Sam LaPorta making history today with some of what he was able to do. But 9 receptions, 140 yards, 1 TD. Having him as a rookie, oh my God, like what this kid can develop into is going to be insane. I think just kind of being able to look at what he was able to do today. 140 yards coming from him, 9 receptions. Usually he's only picking up 3.5 receptions. Thank you. 3.5 receptions in a game. But hey, Frank Ragnow going down, that is tough, especially because I just saw a coach coming out saying we don't know what it is yet. We won't know until tomorrow. Sounds like it could be one of two things. One being more positive, the other being quite negative. So, dear God, let it be the positive one, because you could feel the difference the moment Ragnow was out of the game. You could see the O-line struggling to adjust. Montgomery not hitting the holes that he was hitting earlier. Jahmyr Gibbs, same thing. So, hey, I mean, St. Brown, we didn't see him much today. But Jared Goff performed fairly well for really what it was. Obviously, we picked up 6 of those points off the bat off that pick with Brian Branch, but he did his job, did well, especially that last play to Josh Reynolds in order to seal the game with $1:40-ish left on the clock. Defensively, still the struggle is finding our way to the quarterback, but I will say credit where credit is due. The D-line did find a way to break through the Saints O-line today multiple times, applying pressure, and to the point where Bruce Irvin, absolutely demolished and may have broken multiple ribs of Derek Carr. That was pretty brutal. And I'll tell you what, you could tell he's a vet. You could tell he's an old dude because he did not stop the pile drive. Just landed with all his weight in the shoulder, and I understand that's why they are trying to protect QBs, because man, if you're the Saints, you're 5-6, now you're 5-7 in the hunt for a wild card spot. If that happens to Derek Carr, Winston, he doesn't have it in him. Like even that almost Brian Branch in that fourth quarter jumps up, blocks the ball. Jerry Jacobs would have picked it off. It happens to land in the Saints receiver's hand. They pick up a TD off of it. So, like, they shouldn't have been as close as they were. You see Winston struggling down the stretch because he's QB2, technically probably QB3 after Taysom Hill. But, hey, man, I got to give the Saints a lot of credit because of that odd combo between Taysom Hill and Derek Carr. The way that worked, it's odd, but it works, man. And, hey, some credit to Jameson Williams on that TD 30-yard run. He runs from the 30-yard line all the way to the 4-yard line and freaking Supermans his way into the end zone. That was awesome to see. But today belongs to Sam LaPorta offensively. It does. And defensively, we got to hope that Aleem McNeil is not done. Our secondary, that's my biggest worry for the Lions now, because here's what I'm going to say. We are now at the point in the season where the rubber meets the road. After Thanksgiving Day and on, like this is where you see teams either stall out or come to life and sustain, right? And so right now, that's kind of what we're looking at with the Lions is we struggled against LA. Offensively, we came out and we win that game 41-38, but defensively, man, we could not stop Herbert, could not stop Keenan Allen. Then you go into Chicago. We struggled so bad, but we found a way to win that game. And then the woes came to fruition in that third game against the Packers. They light us up. We still could have won that game, but we made a lot of bonehead decisions on the play calling side. We lose it. Now we come into this game. This is a game where 21-0, I was like, we should dominate the Saints. We should dominate them. And we found a way to get ourselves into a situation that was a little bit hairier than we needed. So now you've got Chicago, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota, if I'm correct. And if that's your spread, man, we can't stall out now. Now is the time where we really have to ramp up. We have to ramp up. We have to take off. We have to be able to be one of those teams that don't just pitter-patter out. I think of the Vikings last season, right? They just pitter-pattered out and in a way where some people are like, oh, okay, they won, what were they, 13 and some odd wins? Yes, but you could tell by their play, and even though they were winning games, everybody felt it. They're going to get bounced week 1 into the playoffs. That is a nightmare come true for them. That is not what I want. That's not what we want for our Lions. So it's like you can't pitter-patter out and barely win these games. Like I want to see the boys start to dominate again. But defensively, we're struggling. Bruce Irvin, great addition to the defense. But we got to get James Houston back. Ali McNeil, hopefully he's not hurt. Alex Anzalone's got to come back. Huge shout out to Jack Campbell. He played lights out in the position that he was in. So I'm just really hoping that from this point out, Lions find a way to win and less sloppy. We got to be less sloppy, and the defense has to come alive because we're relying on the offense to just win these games. And I don't love it. But hey, Lions win 33-28. Drop the thoughts in the comments. How do you feel getting ready for Chicago? Let me know. That is it for today. And yeah,